This is the first time that it happens to me in Malaysia. This is the first time that it happens to me anywhere. So I never got arrested at the end of a conference, at the end of a speech. I never got arrested before for anything. But, I mean, I had maybe few traffic accidents or something. That's why I went to police station.
Right.
But this is the first time like I gave a talk. And at the end, somebody came to me and showed ID, and that they're police. And then the next day, I found myself arrested by those people. This never happened before, and this was not something I could imagine. I mean, I would imagine in Saudi Arabia maybe, but I thought Malaysia was relatively a more open society. Basically, 2 points that they insisted. One was why I did teach religion without permit. And in return, I gave 2 answers. First, I said that I even didn't know that there was a law like that in Malaysia, and I apologize for the ignorance on my part. Second, I said, on the other hand, I don't think I did teach religion in the sense that the law probably implies, because I did speak not as an imam, not as a mufti. I didn't speak to a religious community. I spoke at an academic conference, and I referred to different views in the Muslim world about apostasy by academic references. I'm not an imam. I emphasize that I don't have a religious authority there. So, as somebody who researched the literature on this issue in the Muslim world, I showed examples of literature that we can consider today. So that by itself, I think, doesn't make it the religious teaching that the law probably applies. So that was the first point. The second point was that they asked me why I didn't come meet them before I was leaving the country, despite the fact that they issued a summon order. And in return, I said, I honestly didn't know that I had a legal obligation to come and talk to you before I left. He said he had given me a paper in Malay. I didn't even understand it, and I had given the paper to Ahmed Farouk, the head of the IRF. And from what I understood, from what he told me, yes, they are asking some questions, but you can ask those questions. You can answer those questions later by a written statement. That's what I thought. But they wanted me to go to their institution and give a testimony. Since I am not used to the idea of giving testimony to the police, I mean, it didn't occur to me that it could be a legal necessity. So, and on both points, I said, sorry, I didn't know that I was violating a law. If I did, I apologize. My intention is to, not break laws in Malaysia, and my intention is to go back home. I should say that they were polite always to me, so I had no abuse, I had no bad treatment. They were gentle. But of course, the very process of being detained and not knowing when you will be left free, will you be left free in days, weeks, months? That was really stressful. Yeah, my hosts did not tell me that I need permits, because probably my hosts also thought that this is not a religious speech, religious teaching in the way that the law applies. Apparently Javed thinks differently, and maybe there can be in that sense a difference in the interpretation of what is religious teaching. But yes, I told them, I mean, they asked me, did your hosts tell you that you needed a permit? I said, no, they didn't tell me I needed a permit, so I didn't know. Maybe they didn't think that there was anything necessary because they didn't understand the law in the same way they did. I can't speak on behalf of the embassy, but I got contacted by some of my friends in the Ankara bureaucracy that the Turkish authorities did get in touch with some Malaysian counterparts to help me on this issue, and I appreciate that as a Turkish citizen. I don't know how exactly the mechanism works, but I know that there has been contacts between Turkey and Malaysia for my release, and maybe that may have a positive, role in this incident, and for that I'm thankful to anybody who tried to help me.